Hey everybody, Dr. Kevin Green here from Innate Wellness Center in Beverly, Massachusetts. So what I want to review today is the first screening in the Titleist Performance Institute screen, and it's the pelvic tilt test. So the reason why this is important is because of something called the lower cross syndrome. So I don't know how many of you sit a lot during the day, but what happens with that prolonged sitting is we get restriction in our hip flexors, so some contraction in there. It also causes weakness in our glutes and in our abs. So the way that we test this is called the pelvic tilt test. So this is my 5-iron. So what we're doing is we're getting into that 5-iron posture, okay? And ideally in our 5-iron posture, with any of our postures with our golf club, we want to have a neutral posture. So what does that mean? That means we don't want to have excessive sway in our back, and we don't want to have excessive rounding in our back. So one of the ways to get to that point is to kind of test that out. You get into that 5-iron posture, and you're going to extend your back and then round your back, okay? So in between there is what our neutral posture is. Now sometimes that's hard for people because if you have some inhibition or some restriction going on, we're going to have limitations to that. So again, the way to test this is we get into that 5-iron posture, we're going to cross our arms over our chest. The first position we're going to go to is that sway back position, okay? We're going to move that as far as we can forward, and then we're going to tilt as far as we can back. Now, there's a couple different things that can happen. One, you could have complete restriction in that, so there could be some fixations in the lumbar spine, the pelvis, some restriction in some of the musculature in there. What can also happen is you could have a lack of coordination, okay? So we're supposed to have a nice, smooth movement. You should be going through that without any shake and bake. What a lot of people will find is that as they go into that rounded position, it's difficult for them and they'll feel some shaking in there. So there's one thing that we're going to start off with today as a way to work towards improving that, and it's stretching out our hip flexors. All right, so there's a couple different ways that we can do that. I'm going to show you a couple simple things, okay? The first one is just a lunge stretch, okay? The key with this is to get into this lunge position here with our knee down on the ground here, and we're going to be at about a 90-degree angle here. We want our pelvis facing forward, so we want to be able to stretch that muscle completely. You want to be nice and upright, pelvis facing forward, and we're going to lean into that stretch. And you should really feel that stretch right in the front part of your leg here, basically right in the hip flexor. We're going to hold that position for about 30 seconds, relax, and then switch to the other side. Another thing that we can do is just a simple butterfly stretch. So we're going to get into a sitting posture here with our feet together. We're going to use our elbows as a little bit of pressure. And what we're going to do is we're just going to push down into that stretch. With this one, you're going to get to a point where you feel a little bit of a stretch. I don't want you to go too much further than that. What you're going to do is hold that posture for 15 seconds, push up a little bit, and then push through it a little bit further. Hold that position for 15 seconds, push up, and go a little bit further. Now, another thing that I touched on here that can cause restriction is if you have any mobility issues in your lumbar spine, whether it's from a disc issue, some degenerative changes, or just misalignment, subluxation, that's something that we can certainly check out for you. So if you have some concerns about this and want to get checked out, certainly give our office a call. Again, I'm Dr. Kevin Green with Innate Wellness Center in Beverly, Massachusetts. Our number is 978-927-8466. See you soon.